Boons, thank you very much for joining us post-match. What do you make of the performance today?
Very good first half. Very good. I thought some of our football was excellent and our approach play. That said, I thought we could have threatened to keep them more than we did. But they're a well-drilled outfit. We've watched them a few times now, and it was going to be a different challenge from last week, and we prepared the lads for it. And as you saw, it's hard when you're defending against long throws and corners and that. We're not a particularly big side. And that was, probably our downfall for, I think it was 2 of the goals. But the players showed lots of character. They've had not a fortuitous goal. Well, I suppose it was in some way straight from the corner. It's not very often that happens, but it was a great delivery. He's got a fantastic delivery on him. And then, we spoke about the warning signs in the second half. Didn't think we started well enough second half. And then they get the equaliser and then they go in front. So it's a different challenge for us. But I thought the players showed tremendous character. Morgan come on as sub there and he's contributed with 2 goals from wide areas, delivering the ball in there for Junior and Ramel, and probably that was a fortuitous one. But a good striker's in the right position to keep the drops it. It's a little side foot there. But they pinned us back better the second half. I never like playing down that end because it always seems to slope and we tend to drop off a little bit more. But I thought we competed, we dealt with second balls, lost our way a little bit last 10 minutes in the first half. I think, obviously, it was their goal to make it 1-1 at half-time was, Josh has done really well, and it's one of them that he's just decided to play it back, and the lad read it. Brownie probably was maybe a little bit concerned that he didn't want to get sent off by going for it, but I think up until that point we'd done really, really well in the first half, and I thought we was controlling the game. But it's momentum, goals, shift, and they're back in it.
And as you alluded to a bit there, some of the build-up play today was fantastic. Would you say that's one of your strongest strengths in this side?
Yeah, but it hasn't come easy. They've done lots and lots of work on it. July, we could never have thought of building like that, but the players have listened. And the always thing with anything, if a player can learn, that's the important thing. You can keep telling them, but if they don't learn, then there comes a time where you maybe have to look elsewhere. But they've applied themselves, they've learned, and they've stuck with it, what we've been coaching them. And I think you can see today that they're more than competent in possession of the ball.
Of course, Millwall, like yourselves, have started the season undefeated, started the season very, very well. Is it a good sign that you've, outplayed them for the majority of today?
Yes, they're a different kind of team. There'll be a complete different team today to the team we play on Friday. But that today is a great test for our boys because they're very much, it's very much like the way their first team players will, and they keep at you, and the players don't always get exposed to that. They got exposed to it in pre-season, and then they've had a taste of it today, but they come through it better today than they did pre-season.
And how impressed are you with the development of Ramel Donovan as well? He looks exceptional on the ball, got another goal today, and a superb finish.
Yeah, he makes things happen, doesn't he? You always think when he gets there, and he's with Ramel at the moment, you're playing wide, he's a danger. But if you don't see too much of the ball, you want him on the ball. And then we put him in the 10 role, and he starts creating things and makes things happen. But where he is in his development, he's got to get better discipline with when the ball changes hands, and that's where he's at the moment. But he's a 16-year-old boy, he's learning, and we'll keep teaching him, spending time with him and that. But he's on a good progression, but we've got to keep his feet firmly on the ground and keep him humble.
Also, you mentioned briefly earlier Morgan Dance coming off the bench and creating 2 of the goals with 2 assists down that right-hand side. He was impressive today.
Yes, Morgs was, he could be slightly grieved that he's not in the team because he was a really bright spark in very few that we had in pre-season. He'd probably been one of our most consistent players. But he had been out injured last week. So we started him from the bench, and then, as I say, comes on and 2 terrific balls in there, and we scored 2 goals from it.
And finally, you're still unbeaten to start the season. Does this feel like a really good group to you?
Yeah, what they are, they're honest, and they want to work, which is great. I've had talented groups in the past that haven't always wanted to do the other side of the game, but we're working very hard with them on the other side of the game. And we actually said to them today that your chance of winning the game would come from being out of possession rather than in possession. That sounds crazy, but what we're trying to say, you've got to defend correctly. And to an extent we did. But it's, it's hard to play against that.